Good morning and welcome to another Wellness Wake Up Together. I'm so excited for today's practice because today we are expressing love to ourselves. So, this week we have spent a lot of time practicing on receiving love. We've expressed love to strangers, and it's time to really start to express that love towards ourselves. One of the things that I love about practicing self love is that when we start to practice loving ourselves, we no longer need the validation or the love from others because we practice and we know that we can get it from ourselves at any time. So, let's dive in. I have so many notes here today just because this is one of, I think, the more challenging practices, just because it can make a lot of people uncomfortable when expressing love to themselves. And I find this to be really interesting because, right, we practiced giving a compliment to a stranger. And sometimes that can feel a little bit challenging to, right, speak up, to say, I like your jacket, or I really like your smile, or I appreciate how kind you are to people. Or, yeah, like sometimes that can feel a little bit challenging, but we're used to it. We've practiced it. Now, what I think is it's interesting and it's a little bit sad. It's sad for me at least, is how hard it is to love ourselves. How hard it is to give ourselves a compliment, to look in the mirror and to say a nice thing to ourselves. So today, the challenge is to find a reflective surface. Could be like a window that you walk by, could be a mirror. And I want you to pause and to look yourself in the eye. And I want you to say something kind to yourself. So I wrote down a few ideas that you could say. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you're here. You're doing your best. That's a really important one to like see yourself trying. I see how hard you're trying, or you're allowed to take up space. The other one, and this one tends to be really hard for people, but you can tell yourself, I love you. And if that feels really hard, you can say, I'm learning to love you. So find one kind thing to say to yourself in the mirror. And I want you to notice how it feels. It very likely will feel uncomfortable. It very likely will feel silly. It very likely will feel, just wrong. And the reason that that is because this isn't something that we practice. I mean, I don't. It might be easy for you. I'm just going to speak from my experience that looking yourself in the mirror and giving yourself a compliment for me has been something that's challenging because it's not something I've practiced. It's not something that, I grew up and was taught to do necessarily every day or in school. And so it's a different experience. And so I want you to notice what doesn't feel comfortable, because this shows you where you're not used to receiving love. And that's from yourself. So like if you look in the mirror and your statement is like, I love you, and that feels weird, take a moment to look at those feelings of uncomfort, of discomfort, and like what happens after you say those words, because that is where we want to work. That's where we want to sit with it. And we want to practice that more so that we can begin to really believe the statement, I love you. Or if that one's really hard, I'm learning to love you. I'm proud of you. I see all the hard work that you're doing. So, we're going to be our own best friend today and give ourselves a compliment. And I want to know down below how the practice is for you, maybe what statement you said to yourself or how it made you feel. And I just want to remind you that the most important relationship that you'll probably have in this lifetime is the one that you have with yourself. And the relationship that you have with yourself sets the tone for all the other relationships that you have and that you're able to have. So if you're really harsh and critical to yourself, that will be reflected out into all of your other relationships. If you're very loving and kind to yourself, that will be reflected out into your relationships. And so this is such an important practice of self-love, is to be able to love ourselves and to say kind compliments and things to ourselves. So I hope that this practice lands for you. I would love to know how it goes for you as you practice it, how uncomfortable it might be, because trust me, when I first started practicing giving myself compliments, it's uncomfortable, and that's okay. Your first instinct is, I don't want to look in this mirror anymore. So I want to know how it is for you. I want to know if you were able to say the statement to yourself, and how it made you feel. So I will be here tomorrow for our last expression and receiving of self love. And then next week, we're going to go into unconditional love, which I am so excited to share with you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.